will The Last of Us Part 2 be featured at Sony PlayStation's State of Play? Hey, what is going on, everyone? My name is Zach, and welcome back to another Last of Us Part 2 video, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, like I said, we are going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 2, Sony and PlayStation State of Play Episode 2, coming tomorrow, May 9th, at 3 p.m. Pacific Time or 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys can actually catch the stream. But we are getting features of an extended look at Medieval, a first look at a new title, and much more. And Sid Schumann, the director and social media for PlayStation blog, posted and he said, "Hi all, excited to share that State of Play will return for a new episode next Thursday, May 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. It'll be a quick show, around 10 minutes, but we've got some PS4 updates we couldn't wait to share with you. PlayStation Worldwide will be showing off an extended look at Medieval, as well as a first look at a new title, and we'll have other updates and announcements from upcoming PlayStation 4 games. One note, don't expect any updates relating to our next generation plans this time. Sorry." He goes on and on. Follow him on social media. Check out, their feedback section. Leave your feedback and comments. And so this is great. We have a new PlayStation event tomorrow, and a lot of people, including myself, are wondering if The Last of Us Part 2 will make an appearance. And initially, this is what Akoji hinted at, either taking place during State of Play or a separate announcement from Naughty Dog and Sony about The Last of Us Part 2. And so we have a few things to talk about here. I don't necessarily think The Last of Us Part 2 will be featured at this State of Play, just because of the fact that this event is 10 minutes in length. We're getting most of the look at an extended look at Medieval, which is one of the PS4 games, and then a first look at a new title, as well as a reveal of a third-party game that was announced a long time ago, and then State of Play Episode 3 will return later in the year. I don't necessarily think this first look at a new title is The Last of Us Part 2 because we've already had a first look. In fact, we've already had a few looks at The Last of Us Part 2. I know it's been almost a year since we've had any looks at The Last of Us Part 2, but they specifically state a first look, and this will be our second or third time revisiting The Last of Us Part 2 from Sony and Naughty Dog, so I don't necessarily think that is the first title they're referring to. Of course, they're not talking about next generation plans, and they wouldn't bring up The Last of Us Part 2 anyway, because it's more than likely The Last of Us Part 2 is going to release on current generation consoles, so PlayStation 4, because it is an exclusive, it's going to release on PlayStation 4, and then, of course, they're going to remaster it for PlayStation 5. When it does come out, they can have pretty much everyone who loves the game buy it again, and they can make an extra $60 or however much money they're selling the special edition and ultimate editions for, if they even do something like that. But they are going to basically re-release it for the next-gen consoles. I can almost guarantee that. They did it with The Last of Us 1 just because it came at the end of the PlayStation 3 generation life cycle, and then they remastered it and released it on PlayStation 4. So I don't necessarily think The Last of Us Part 2 is coming at State of Play, but is this the last chance for a 2019 release for The Last of Us Part 2? Because we are flying through this year, guys. Mind you, we are in May. Akoji still thinks that there is going to be an announcement for The Last of Us Part 2, maybe not necessarily this month, but before E3. I wouldn't imagine Sony wanting to push it so close to E3 if they were going to do something for The Last of Us Part 2. They probably wouldn't want to do it within 2 weeks before or after of E3 because they want all the attention on themselves. It's the same thing with Rockstar games. So we should expect it either in May or potentially something over the summer. Either way, if we do not get an announcement or some type of reveal, trailer, another gameplay trailer, just another highlight of The Last of Us Part 2, we should start thinking about how this impacts the release date, because I know the Reddit is going crazy. It seems like a bunch of people are dead set on it being 2019 release, fall 2019, either September, October, November, December, and some people like myself also are holding out thinking it may be coming out in the spring of 2020, just like the first half of 2020 most likely. And the further we move on throughout the year here, the more I think that is going to be the case. Although I think it's definitely possible it can come out in the fall, Sony needs to give enough time to market this game. Now, recently in the past few years, since The Last of Us 1 released, they have been waiting longer and longer to start really hyping up and marketing and promoting and advertising their games. They're waiting closer and closer to the release date, only giving themselves a few months to really hammer it out in front of consumers' faces that this game is coming out, here's what it's about, you should give them money and buy the game so you can enjoy it. And so we could see something like that with The Last of Us Part 2, but with a title as colossal as TLOU Part 2, I don't think we should expect something coming out in the summer as like a first trailer and having it release in a month like September or October, just because of the fact if Sony starts marketing this game in July, that only gives them 3 months if this game comes out in between like September and October, like a lot of these leaked release dates are talking about. So I do want you guys to keep that in mind. The further we get into the year here, the less likely a 2019 release date is likely, but I do think it could come out between 2019 and 2020. Either way, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. I think just the further we get in the year here, it's more likely that 2020 will be the release date. If we don't get an announcement this May, I don't think it's the last chance for a 2019 release window for The Last of Us Part 2, but we are getting dangerously close. If we don't have any substantial information like a release date by the summer, you know, by July 4th, I'd say it's about game over on thinking that The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out in the year of 2019, and we should expect a 2020 release date. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. You guys may disagree with me. You guys may agree with me. I'd love to have some respectful dialogue going down in the comments. I'm so excited for this game. That's why I love talking to you guys. I always make sure I can respond to as many people as possible on these videos because The Last of Us Part 2 holds a special place in my heart, and I love talking with people about it. I can like nerd out about The Last of Us forever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed and found the information helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new and want to see more Last of Us Part 2 content. And I will see you guys in the next Last of Us Part 2 video. Adios, amigos.